is my dream formula, my dream product. Still blows my mind that I can hold it, you know, in my hand. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy to see you all. As I mentioned in my last video, I am building my skincare brand, June Skin, and would love to bring you in on the journey. Thank you all so much for just your kind words, your welcome backs. It really does mean a lot. I say this often, but it's true. Many of you all told me in my last video, like, hey Morgan, we're here, we're in on the journey, and that just means so much. So thank you, thank you, thank you. In today's video, we're gonna get all into my R&D / manufacturing process. So going from idea to physical sample. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you are notified every time I post a video. Let's jump right onto it. Okay, so how I got started making my product. So I knew from the beginning that I didn't want to formulate my product on my own, so actually make it myself. At the same time, I didn't have any relationships with labs or had any idea how to contact them, like to start working with them. But I did have some established relationships in the beauty industry. So I began to leverage those. And that was the first thing I learned early on. Your journey may not look like everybody else's, but if you pay attention to what you actually have, you can make something shake. I ended up getting in contact with, she's really a beauty veteran. She has a well-established background in product development, cosmetic science. She was at the time the CEO of a very successful skincare company. We ended up hopping on a call, and she walked me through this entire development process. After talking with her, I had an idea of what labs can actually do, how you work with them, their costs, so some of their like MOQs or just like development fees. I realized I had some work to do before I was actually ready to sit down and meet with a lab. So fast forward, I ended up going to a beauty event, and I met with the team of a pretty big retailer, a beauty retailer. I hit it off with one of the ladies on the team, and I shared with her I was building or trying to build a skincare brand, but had zero luck finding a manufacturing / like lab partner. She ends up telling me that her husband is the vice president of a lab that's based here in New York, and she would love to put us in contact. I'm like, what? That day, she ends up putting me on a email thread with her husband, and we had a meeting set up probably like that following week. Sometimes all it takes is, you know, sharing your passion with someone. Something could easily click in them, and they are more than willing to help in whatever way they can. So that following week, I land my call with my first lab, and we hit it off. He was so excited about what I wanted to create. I think he was also fascinated with me being this Penn grad / Wharton student who built this really big like social media platform and now wanted to leverage this audience or community into her own thing. I remember in that first meeting, I really didn't have to say much. He was just sold on what he's heard from his wife and kind of the passion that was able to ooze out of me. At the end of that call, he wanted to take on June and develop the product of my dream. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to develop my final product with this lab because costs were just way too high for us. So when you're working with a lab, you pay to develop, so you're using their in-house R&D team to make your product. Then you have like a manufacturing production fee. Most of the times labs will set MOQ, so that's a minimum order quantity, in order to manufacture with them. That MOQ fee is really high. It can be between 5,000 to 25,000 units. So say if your unit cost is $5, you have to multiply that times your MOQ. So 5 times 5,000, 5 times 25,000 it can be upwards to $50,000 for many companies, especially early on. I myself didn't have that type of cash to invest. So couldn't manufacture with this lab, but I was able to walk away with a pretty solid baseline for my actual formula. So it took me some time to lock in with a manufacturer. I would say the timeline between that first lab meeting to, you know, the lab partner that we have gone with, who has produced our formula, was a year and a half. Through that trial and error, I was able to streamline, you know, the lab partner I was looking for. I knew I didn't have a large MOQ and I only wanted to formulate one product. I took it to Google and found the exact lab partner I was looking for. So at this point, I knew exactly what I wanted and what I didn't want. I knew I wanted to formulate a clean product. I myself have very sensitive skin, so for me that means no fragrance, no alcohols, no synthetic colors, no mineral oil. I wanted to formulate a product that was going to protect and strengthen my skin over time. I also knew the texture or appearance I wanted my formula to have. So I am formulating a face cream that will be June's first product launch. And when I thought about some of my favorite face moisturizers, they were creamy and rich and was able to absorb well into the skin. Those were the same attributes I wanted my formula to have, and I was able to communicate with the lab. So we packaged that all up and it took about 2 years. Then you get this. This is a sample of our final formula, which is so exciting. Now this isn't in its final packaging, this is just a sample packaging, so I could test the formula, but it's really exciting. So that's exactly how I got this process started. In the next video, I'm going to kind of show you how to use the product, what it looks like on the skin, what's inside of it, you know, all the good stuff, as well as open up our product wait list. So if you want to get your hands on the product first, you should definitely join the list. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you are not already. Also hit the notification bell so you will know every time I post a video. I'm super excited for this journey and finally bringing you guys in on it. And until next time, I will see you all in my next